If you go back, gosh, let's just say 25 years, I thought that religion was the answer to my life. Fast forward a few years, and I learned that religion did not serve me as much as I served it. I realized that the number one priority of religion, contrary to popular belief, and I certainly challenge all of you to voice your opinion on this. Hello? Is the number one goal of the church is the survival of the church. So that's one. There's payroll involved, there's upkeep of the building involved, there's parking, there's events, there's all kinds of things, insurance, you name it, that's got to be taken out of the Sunday offering to make sure that next Sunday this church as a unit is still there. Second to that might be the benevolence to people that are members of that body. More specifically, benevolence usually comes to members that give and serve the most. It might not look like there's a pecking order there, but I have a feeling it is. Yes or no? Third, if there's anything left, then the service to the community might come into play. Now, I've always said, and I will continue to say this, that church is a wonderful place to build a social network. It's a wonderful place to meet friends, meet like-minded people, a wonderful place for your children to grow and nurture and development. But there comes a point in time you've got to ask yourself, is this serving me at a spiritually high energy level? Hello? If I were looking back and I were writing a letter to the younger me, I would write something like this. Who do you think God is? Now remember, I'm asking this to the younger me. And at that point, that younger me might go, well, for me, I'm raised in the West. I was raised in a Christian environment, not necessarily raised in church, but in a Christian environment. So my God would be God of the Bible, which is the Christian Holy Book. Well, I would tell that younger me, then why don't you look outside the parameters of that book? It's like reading a ninth grade science book and calling yourself a scientist. Reading the Bible and calling yourself in tune with God is similar to calling yourself that scientist. Younger me, hello. Now I understand so much more than I ever did. So now when I ask, who is God? Now I'm asking you, who is God? Keep in mind that there are millions of God worshipped around this globe. In India alone, there's probably 1 million different deities that people worship at various times throughout the year. And there's various other faiths or religion that have their own version of God. And I'm not here to call any of them right or wrong. I'm simply here to go, does any of it even matter? Now, I know with some of those people of you that are following me that are Christians are thinking, oh my God, Dale's falling off the deep end. Yes, no? Hello? Well, I haven't, but I will tell you this, I've been enlightened. And I've learned a lot since July of 18, when my cancer came back and I spent 42 days in the hospital from July until December of that year. Multiple times I was convinced I was dying. I knew that I was. I survived. A lot of people said, "Oh, thanks be to Jesus." I'm not saying that at all. Because to say that would be a spit in the face to those that didn't make it. Think about this. How many people say, well, if you just had faith the size of a mustard seed? Think about what you're saying to somebody right there. Because I think even the Bible says if you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, your faith could move mountains. That's crap. You can have all the faith in the world. You can be so solid in your belief. And you can stand before that mountain and pray with all earnesty. And that damn mountain ain't moving. That damn mountain ain't moving. And then people have this thing, well, you didn't pray with earnesty. Your faith wasn't big enough. I don't like that control mechanism in my life. So now when people say, who is God? Going back to the original question to younger me, who is God? Now to older me, God is the accumulation of everything around us. At the universe, the cosmos, the everything. When we start vibrating high energy opens the gateway to knowledge that university could never give us. And when we open that energy and allow that sedgeway of knowledge to come in, it gives us the ability to articulate it in a way that any speech class couldn't give you. Simply because we allowed the power of a creator, a God, to come into our life. So who is God? Hello? To me now, God is you. God is me. We're the hands and feet. We're the ones that can truly make a difference. You know, I always talk about 21,000 children die a day around the world in horrific ways of starvation, disease, and things we couldn't imagine here in the West. And to some of us, we go, well, it's God's divine will. He has a plan bigger than what we know. Hello? Do you really believe that? Do you believe that God designed this world in such a way that 21,000 children a day die of horrific conditions? And that's something you want to worship? Yes? No? I think we have the power within us to change any dynamic in this world that we so desire to change. And it begins with one expression, one love, one kindness, one benevolence. It just starts with one thing at a time. And go back to those, it's God's divine will. Even the Bible says there will be poor amongst us. Well, hell, that's our sedgeway. That's all we need to hear. There will always be poor amongst us. Thank God it didn't me. Thank God it didn't me. Now let's turn this around. It's God's divine will that these 21,000 children die a day. What if all of a sudden tomorrow it's your child? Are you just saying it's divine will and you're just going to let your child die of starvation in a horrific way when you know that's within your power to make a difference? Hello? So who is God? Who is God? Well, I've read a ninth grade science book, and I know without a shadow of a doubt I am not a scientist. I've read the Bible, And I love some of its teachings, not all of them. I love some of its teachings. That doesn't make me any closer to a deity than I was before the day I read it. Matter of fact, it might push me further away. Now, if you take the Bible or any other holy book, the Vedic, whatever you want to call it, and you're willing to open your energy to receiving that knowledge in such a way that you can use it in an impactful and positive way to create good in society, then it's wonderful. Hello? So who is God? I believe without a shadow of a doubt that God is everywhere. And when we decide to be that high energy, and we're the vibration of high energy will come into our space. And the more high energy that comes into our space, the more positive and wonderful impact we can have on this world. Yes? So my challenge with the Alive podcast, which is Authentic Love, Imagination, Victor, and Evolve, is to keep giving you permission to live your authentic self. Whoever that is. Allow your authenticity to come out in such a way that your imagination comes alive again. What victim mentality or low energy vibration you had, all of a sudden becomes victor. Now you can evolve into the greatest version of yourself possible, all because you had the courage to ask the question, who is God? That, my friends, is my podcast for the day. I'd love to hear from you. I would love your questions about anything that's going on in this world. And let's just allow the high energy to come in, expand our knowledge in such a way that university can't. And let's just see what answers we come up with. Till then, my name's Dale. Look forward to seeing you soon. I'm looking away because I'm trying to find the end recording button on this thing. But I want to hear from you.